And we're live.
Hello.
Hello,
Hello.
everybody.
All right.
So, as you might notice, we have changed up the positions a little bit, and this is one of
What am I doing up
our
here?
yeah, this is like one of our special streams. We're doing a one shot. That's hopefully a one shot. Otherwise, it's a 2-session shot, which might actually be a good thing too. Anyway, so tonight we have Brains as our dear DM running the game. We do
Did
not.
the stream go up?
Yeah, the stream is on. The stream should be on. And we also have a guest with us, a dear friend of our regular DM, and also our very first subscriber. So he gets the special honor of joining us, Master of Flowers.
Yay! Hopefully I die. So epic.
So different for tonight is that since it's a one shot, we also got new characters. So when we start, we should probably do a round of introductions. Because we're not our normal characters anymore. We have other names and other abilities, races and classes and whatnot. Yeah. Is there anything I forgot to mention?
I didn't think so.
No. Okay, I'm handing
good.
over the reins to DM Brains up in the corner.
It's weird being up here. Right. So the gist is, so far, we have a group of adventurers. Surprise, surprise. Who have been going around for about 3 levels, ever long you want to experience that too. So they're not massively experienced, but they do okay. They have a friend in a town of Barrowfields who knows. Let me check names because I keep confusing names. Who knows Nathan and Eakins from their bounty hunting days, and whenever they club together to become an adventuring group, he sort of was the person who set them up with a few starting adventures and sort of got them where they need to go. And yeah, basically he was their quest giver. Recently they were out on the road and they received a letter from the guy who I did not give a fucking name to. Rugier, what is your benefactor's name? Or against either of you?
Oh, can't hear Rogier.
Oh,
It's
Chris.
Chris.
Chris? Okay.
Yeah.
That'll do. So they got a letter from Chris. And the letter wasn't actually from Chris, but it was sent via Chris. He has a raven that always seems to know how to hunt them down. Not too sure how, but because I said so, he knows how to hunt them down where they are.
Right. Uh-huh.
Accept it. On the letter, it was a letter from a merchant called Leon, who he was traveling through, and on his way he stopped at a village called Flatpass. And I'll let them read out the letter in full if they want, to each other. We're just picking off as they get the letter. But the gist is he went to the village and he stayed the night, sort of out in the stable. He didn't want to spend any money, and whenever he woke up, the village was under attack. And him, being the brave merchant that he is, he ran like fuck. Whenever he arrived at the town of Barfields, he thought a bit better of it and thought, you know what, I should find someone who can maybe go back and see if they're okay, because this village of Flatpass is actually one of the main providers of food and produce to the province. And so it's kind of a big deal if it's came under attack. So he goes and he finds Chris. He gets told where Chris is, and then Chris sends the letter off to yourselves. As we start out, it's just the morning. You are camped out along a main road, or just off the main road into the forest, and you have just received the letter. And if you want to even go around and give an introduction to your character. I would go clockwise around here, but I'm looking at the Discord screen, so you aren't in that order. Right. So whoever's beside me here,
No one.
You can start. Oh,
Ekans.
I think that's me. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
second.
go for it.
I'll probably just do a wee simple description.
Sure.
Ekans. He never really usually says his second name, which is Tree Shade. He usually is called the nickname Ek. He's an elf, sort of white hair, and sort of wears greyish clothing. Nothing too stand out-ish. Yeah. Who's next?
Nathan.
All right, I suppose that will be me. Name's Nathan. I am a human monk, and I am average height but very well trained physique. I have brown hair and brown eyes. My hair is quite a bit long. I have a slight ponytail, like in the back. And as a profession, I am a professional bounty hunter. So I go out and find people that have pissed off the wrong people, and I bring them in and make money. So I'll give it to the guy below me.
Equus.
That's you.
Oh, I'm below. I thought.
No.
No,
Yeah.
actually,
He's
it's
up next, guys.
Lamarius that's below, but we can just hop down.
Oh, okay. No, I can. Yeah, my
It
bad.
doesn't matter.
I thought we were going clockwise, so I thought that the next
No,
one
you
is
would have
below.
been right. Yeah, you would have been right. Yeah.
Oh, you wanted me to?
We need to
Yeah,
roll
I'm
initiative for
playing-
this.
I don't. Yeah.
I'm playing Equus Tenebris. He is a human, very dark black hair, in his mid-30s. He's got the dark scruff of a man who rarely shaves, and when he does, it just kind of stands back. He has a huge white scar that runs down the left side of his face. His left eye is somewhat milky, but it still seems to be able to see, as if there's something there that lets him get beyond the injury that he has. He is a man who wears heavy armor and carries a shield, and he does so with ease. He would say that people say that he might be an adventurer, but generally speaking, he considers himself a mercenary. You pay him, he does whatever it is, whether it's killing a kobold or hunting down bandits or getting a cat from a tree. It's all the same to him.
Okay, then it's me. All right. So my character is called Emolite Greyshield. She's a dwarf. She has fairly reddish hair and is a kind of slightly light tanned-ish in her skin tone, because she's a mountain dwarf, and I think they were a bit fairer in their skin. Anyway, she is an adventurer. She is actually looking for her sister, Amber Greyshield, that went out on a quest to find a long lost shield of our clan. But no one's heard from her forever or for ages. So I actually headed out trying to see if I could find her. She's missing. I am also a priest of Helm, and it's no secret as I usually wear a gauntlet that's mostly decorative, but it's made of metal, and on it has the ever vigilant eye of Helm on it. I also wear a shield and good sturdy adventurous cloaks. Doesn't really scream priest, but there's other signs to tell the tale. I normally wear my hair in like a couple of braids as well. And no, I do not have a beard. It might be important to mention that.
I thought you were a dwarf. Jeez,
yeah,
come on.
but Yeah, it's a great shame of my clan actually. The beer grows in very late, at like 100 plus, which is actually really late for the men. And they kind of complain about it because people always think they're younger than they are and doesn't really take them serious until the beer grows in. We should do when they're kind of old already. So yeah, unfortunately, not everybody has good hair genes or beard genes. genes.
I know. I'm the same in real life. This is about 4 months of growth here.
So yeah, that's Emilite.
I am Lemurius Fameriquad. I am a barbarian gnome. He is dressed pretty much like He-Man. Imagine He-Man. He's got a dirty blonde hair. It's kind of short. He's got really intense blue eyes, like those dudes at the gym that just scream intensity as they do reps. Like he just looks fucking intense all the time. He's about as wide as he is tall. So just imagine a 3x3 square running at you, and yeah, that's and he's after a guy that ruined his village. He's after that fool. He wants to take his shins. That's it.
Okay, cool. That's everybody then.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's just after morning, just dawns, just sort of broke. Campfires, embers of dying, and you've all just sort of woken up, and this raven has arrived, and it has landed on Nathan's shoulder, with its wee message attached to it.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I read it to the party, and like, sounds interesting. Does it state that there's there's payment for it?
It doesn't specifically state that because the letter was actually written from the merchant. But you know that Chris is never sent any work that wasn't well paid.
There you go. Okay. So I kind of hold up the note and say, "Who's in?"
Let's go. Right.
Let's
Sorry,
go.
I forgot. Let's go.
Yeah. Is there gonna be some killing? We gotta get to murder.
I would think so.
Yeah. You know I'm in.
It's not the killing that matters. It's the gold.
It's not the gold that matters. It's the fact that we need to protect those that cannot protect themselves.
It's mostly the killing.
I disagree. It's the gold.
Oh, I love these characters already. Okay, so before we started, I was very generous and gave them the option to pick a fancy item should they want one. A few people picked a few magical items, a couple of people didn't. For example, Equus has some very nice plate armor, and the other guys have magic items that I'm not going to say in case they don't want the group to know what they have or whatever. You've got these items on your last adventure. You sort of found them. It was quite an intense event, and you've got these items as a result. So this is your first real time of having a need to use them. So you haven't actually used them before now. If you want to attune or wear them, you can do that now because you're just out of a little rest.
Definitely.
Yep, will do.
Okay. And Nathan, do you wear yours?
Yeah. I got like this little headband thing on.
Is it red?
I figured it was more silver colored, but it depends.
Okay.
Sorry.
As you put it on, you can feel this energy going through you, and you feel all this knowledge just powering through stuff you'd never dreamed would have existed, and so much so that you want to shout out.
Holy
You
shit!
open your
guys.
mouth, and nothing comes out.
But what's that? What's he doing? What
Hey,
did
Nathan, are you alright, mate?
is he fucking with me? Are you fucking with me? What's happening here? I understand. Hey,
Are you wounded? Do I need to heal? Do you need a heal? I
He's-
think he
he's
wants us to
mad
hit
at
his
it.
forehead. All right,
He's
I'm
mad at his
gonna.
eyebrows. Should I kill your
Yeah,
eyebrows?
you
What's
can
happening
take it
here?
off. It comes off. You can take it off if you wish.
What?
And as soon as it comes off, the knowledge drains, but you can speak.
Holy shit. That was intense.
Yes, like having sex while camping.
I knew everything, but I
Fucking
couldn't
intense.
talk.
You do everything.
Well, it felt like it. I kind of look at it.
Do you remember anything?
I must have not attuned to it rightly. I put it on again.
Same thing happens.
Fuck.
So, to elaborate for you, while you're wearing, you can have it attuned to you and have no issues. But whenever you wear it is when you get the buff. So you can put it on at any point, and you get the plus. So if you want to put it on and do a roll that needs intelligence, you can do so. But you're unable to speak while doing so. You have to then take the thing off. So if you need to do a wisdom check while speaking to someone,
Intelligence. Yeah.
and I would like to point out you picked this. If you remember, some people, I for the viewers at home in the Discord chat, I asked them to pick a number between 1 and 3, and I had different things for
Ah,
magical items.
that's fantastic.
Just
people who are
a question. Do I, when I think of something or when I realize something, I'm wearing it, take it off, do I still keep that thought in my head or do I lose that as well?
I'm going to be nice and say that you can keep the thought.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah.
Yes. But only one. So you can only do it for a roll and then take the thing off and then explain what you got for that roll.
Yeah.
Okay. Seeing this, I am going to have to try and check mine just to make sure. So I fold out
Oh yeah.
my little cardboard box, and then I sit under it, and then I try to speak.
Yep, they can hear you.
Oh, they can hear me.
I
Okay.
do the same. I slip my feet in the boots. I was try to take a big old jump as high as I possibly can.
Jump and make an athletics roll with disadvantage, please.
Fantastic. What disadvantage?
There's your first clue.
That's let's look at my character sheet here. Athletics. That's a 10.
It's a 10. All right, so you jump up, but you're not quite as graceful as what you usually be. You're sort of a bit flailing around as you jump up. You do reach the I believe it's 30 feet. That allows you to go.
Something like that. I thought
You do you go as high as you intended to do, and you come back down and you land. Not you sort of hit the ground with a thud. You don't injure yourself, but it was far from a perfect landing. While you're doing this, you notice you're not quite as nimble as what you usually are.
all right. Fair enough. Just smile. They work.
Yep. So you're standing there watching this. For some strange reason, he pulled on a pair of boots and just jumped, and then sort of crumpled onto the ground and went,
Yeah.
"All right."
Yep.
So let me get this straight. The only one that's broken is mine? God dang it.
Nope. No, his is broken. There was a broken thing there.
It didn't look broken to me. He
Yeah.
could still talk. I mean,
I'm good. That's,
what the hell?
That's fine.
Okay, I'll fold away the cardboard box thing, and there's nothing wrong with it. So
Yeah. Oh, you'll find that one out later.
yeah.
No, I'm not gonna tell you. Okay. So
No, this is more fun. This
Fine.
is more fun.
okay. So Eakins and Nathan, actually, and Amolite. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, I'm alright.
Amolite. You all know this area quite well, and you know that the town in question, Flatpass, is not that far. It's only a couple of hours walk from where you are following the path. It's not that far away.
Nice. Then we should get going. What time of the day is it?
It's just after dawn, so it's about 7 o'clock-ish.
Oh wow! So we could probably make it.
But
well,
for
we
the
could
lunch,
easily make it before dark.
I think
Drink
if we
it
head
fast.
out now, we can make it before the lunch.
I hear you.
Maybe
Though
there is a
I
nice
wonder if there's
tavern.
anything to eat there.
Maybe there's a nice like cup of beer or like mug of beer, like a tankard. Yeah, let's go get a pint.
Yeah, I like that. It's
I
drinking
agree.
time.
I appreciate the Scottish twang you got going there. That's good.
Yeah, right. I'm real sorry. I'm gonna have to warn you. I might slip into Russian.
That's the lesser known part Scotch, part Russian. Okay, so you set off towards the town.
Yeah.
Okay,
We set off.
Yeah, you set off. You follow the path.
I put the thing on, by the way. Just I don't really need to talk, so I like the idea of ideas running through my head.
Yep, that's fine. Do you keep your boots on?
Yeah.
Okay. So you travel towards the town. It doesn't take you as long. It only takes you about an hour and a half or so in the end. So you arrive. It's about 8:30 or so. And as you come up to it, you start heading up the path towards the town. You can see it in the distance. And it looks like a relatively standard farming town. There's what looks like one main street down the middle and houses bordering it. And then the farmlands is off behind them. And the farmlands are quite extensive for the size of town that it is. They're surprisingly large, and they're filled with crops. Even though most farms wouldn't actually be planting crops at this time, but these ones are filled. They're just churning out all year round, near enough. As you get closer, you notice that there's people out in the fields working, and there's people sort of milling about in the street. And everyone make a perception check for me, please.
Oh no! Can I reroll?
No.
Okay, 8.
It's a non-natural 20.
I got a 9.
I got a 10.
18.
18.
18.
18. Okay. So almost all of you notice that the town looks very much not destroyed. It doesn't even look like it's been attacked. The buildings are all there. There doesn't seem to be any bodies piled up or any signs of damage to town as you get closer.
Aw.
I'm sure we're gonna get paid, right?
Right.
Like, we saved them. That's how it works.
So,
Now that I have the thing on, and I checked the note if I missed like a date on it. Maybe it's like weeks or months old. I just
Yeah.
Something seems off.
Guys, you look troubled.
the town looks fine.
I will look around, hearing them point this out to me, like, yeah, right.
Then let's go take a closer look.
Okay. So as you enter town properly, there's a few farmhouses immediately that look fairly standard. They're a couple made out of stone with like thatched roofs, and there's a couple of wooden ones. You know, there's nothing too fancy. You can see sort of off at the far end of the main street. It's only about half a mile, 3/4 of a mile long. You know, it's not that long of a street before the houses stop. You can see at the end there's a sort of slightly larger building on the left, and another one on the right. The one on the right looks. Sorry, my computer tried to go to sleep. Let's turn that off. I'm boring even the computer. There's a building on the right that is. It looks like an old hunting lodge. So it's like old log walls, and it's the only building that's actually 2 stories. The rest of them are all single story. The building that's on the far side on the right is taller and sort of domed roof, but it isn't actually properly, 2 stories. It's just a large building. On your left-hand side, closer to you, there is a slightly large house more than anything, but on it there's a roughly carved wooden sign that says "Ploughman's Inn." And in between these large buildings are just rows of the standard farming houses. There's nothing too glamorous standing out about them.
Anything on the words of the stable that our friend may have stayed in?
Yeah, the stable is attached to the Ploughman's Inn area. It's just sort of it's more like a lean-to off the side of it with a couple of stalls and some hay. It looks like it's where they keep the sort of workhorses for pulling the plows.
Hey, Nathan.
Ah, fuck. Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, you should probably take that thing off. Maybe we should check the inn that it mentioned in the letter.
Good idea. I was just having it.
Me and Nathan will probably head to the inn then.
Yep.
Okay.
I will tag along because
Yeah.
I still want that pint.
Yep. Exactly.
Sorry, 2 seconds. Just telling my computer that can never sleep. Right.
It sleeps so nice.
Over again.
No, not for the computer. Not for this one. I've already killed one computer. I'm not killing another.
There you go.
It's now fixed. It's okay. Anyway, so you go into the inn. You go into the door and you try the handle, and it's locked. But you can hear someone moving about inside. You hear sort of footsteps shuffling, a lock being turned, and you open the door and you see this sort of large, rosy-faced man, sort of blonde, balding hair.
I'm kind of
comes to the door,
used
he's wearing,
to being like, somebody that comes collecting debt. So pretty much immediately the person opens the door, I pretty much immediately step in, or at least place myself between the door and and the person, so that he can't close the door. So, good afternoon or good morning. I don't know what time it is. How are you doing? Why are you closed? Aren't you an inn?